So I'm going to respond to this message I got, an ask I got. It says, I really enjoy seeing your snakes on my dash. I have a hog nose myself, and ever since he bit me, my fault, I was handling him too close to feeding time. It's made me nervous to try and handle him at all. But seeing your girls reminds me that I just need to make sure he trusts me and I trust him. And I think a lot of it has to do with just being in the right mindset. Once you've got your, I mean, even wild hog noses, it's really hard to get them to bite you, even if you want them to bite you. Oops, I am so sorry. Yes, I know I made a loud noise. I bumped it with my knee. But she wants to come out and play. Let me get this door. They're a little sticky sometimes, which is fine. I'm sorry they're so loud. I think you're mostly used to them, but I mean, I trust her. I know she would never bite me. I could have my hands wrapped in salmon. She would never bite me. I trust her completely. She would never do it. I know she'd never do it. She's never done it. Um, I think she sees me as like a parent. I know that sounds weird, but the behavior she demonstrates is similar to behavior that baby snakes demonstrate with adult snakes. And yeah, she's absolutely a sweetheart. She would sooner starve than bite me. I know you don't. There's plenty of people like, no, it's a snake. They're going to go for food. I know her. It's just like if you know your cat or dog. I know my snake. That doesn't help you with your problem, though. But even wild hog noses, as I'm sure you know, they're sooner going to try to get away, flee. If they do strike, it's going to be a false strike. Um, then they'll play dead before they try to bite you. I've been bit twice myself. Not her, never her. She would never do it. She is just too much of a sweetheart. I don't think she even knows she's a snake. But her sister, who's in here somewhere, um, she has both times were my fault. One time I grabbed her to pick her up, and I did not realize that she was agitated and scared. She had a panic response and bit me. She, I guess, thought she was fighting for her life. She felt she was in danger, and I put her in a position where she thought the only thing she could do to try to save herself was to bite me. This is not typical of most hog noses, and I should have known better. I should have taken my time. Um, it didn't hurt. It really didn't. At first, I didn't even realize I was bit. It feels with at least the babies like you have a piece of tape stuck on you with weight. And I'm just like, wait, what's going on? Oh, her teeth are so small. Um, and the other time is she started having a growth spurt. I had just fed her and I still smelled like salmon. She wanted to come out, and I was a dum dum, and I'm just like, okay, I know I need to go wash my hands, but you want to come out right now. So, okay, it's more important for you to come out right now. And she started nosing my fingers, and then before I knew it, I had a hog nose attached to him. But the thing is, at least at their size and age, these teeny tiny little guys, it doesn't hurt. Um, I'm more worried about them getting hurt, honestly. And I've been bit by hognoses, any snake, twice in my life. Barely even noticed it. I've heard the adults it hurts more because they're bigger. Um, and the feeling afterwards, for me, it felt like a mosquito bite. But it wasn't even, mosquito bites are worse because they last for at least a day. They usually last, but for these girls, the itchy sensation, it lasted maybe an hour. I didn't even put Neosporin on it, but if you put Neosporin on it, it'd probably go away right away. But yeah, um, if you're not afraid of cats and dogs biting you, Those are much worse. I've been bit by my cat before. I've been bit by my leopard gecko before. I'm not like all these animals are just biting me. It's usually I'm feeding them, they miss the food, they get my finger. And cat scratches hurt much worse. Dog bites, far worse. But I think that part of our society is we are afraid of snakes. Like it's in the media. You see, oh, this vicious snake. Ah, oh, it's exciting. It gets views. It gets money. That's what they care about. They don't care what they do to snakes and their reputation and giving people phobias. They care about their bottom line, even if it's not true. And most snakes aren't dangerous. Most snakes aren't deadly venomous. Even the guy who got bit by the most deadly snake in the world, I've seen it written, I'm not sure if I'm the deadly taipan, he survived because we have anti venom. More people are killed by cows than snakes. And I'm not saying this to OP, I'm just going off on a rant here. What I'm trying to say is you can psych yourself out. You can accidentally make yourself so anxious of being hurt that the actual danger is nowhere near as bad as the anxiety you've created for yourself. And media does not help. If you look up snakes, you're either going to get, here, look at my fancy, expensive, rare snake, and then it'll strike at the glass. Or you might get one of the few channels that loves snakes and talks about them as individuals and the wonderful creatures they are. You might even get the fictitious nonsense that's in movies and TV shows where snakes are actively hunting people and just want to kill them, like the two snakes in the new Beetlejuice movie. That's not at all what real snakes are like. And I'm going off on a tangent again here. But what I'm trying to say is snake bites, they're not that bad with hognoses, at least. Especially if it's a young hognose. I mean, these girls are barely even 40 ounces. If I had to pick between a hognose biting me or anything else, a horse biting me, I've been bit by a horse before. Again, they were going for the food and accidentally got my hand. It didn't even break skin. Didn't feel good because they're big, but it's what happens. If an animal has a mouth, you can get bit. Um, and most of the time they're not even trying to. And the point I'm trying to make is you can psych yourself out. I'm going to close this really quick and I'm going to tell you about um, an experience that I had. So, I've had lots of cats. This little man has bit me before. He didn't do it on purpose. You can see he's an absolute sweetheart. He just wants to be loved. And the thing is, though, um, sometimes he gets confused. He gets excited about food. I'm holding a treat. He is so excited if it's a really good treat. And he might accidentally bite my hand. But do I stop touching him? Am I afraid of him? No, I just keep petting him. Now, the other thing, too, is I have had cats who maybe they didn't have the best background. Maybe it's their personality. I don't really know. There was this cat that somebody I knew had. Her name was Serena. And I was over at her house, uh, at her owner's house, a lot. So I got to know her pretty well. And I don't know what made her this way, but she was aggressive. She liked to hide under furniture and she would wait till you went by and she'd attack your ankle. She was very, very aggressive. She would go out of her way to attack people. If you would try to pet her, she would slap you. She would bite you. You would probably, I have a scar from her actually. Um, Yeah, no scars from any of my snakes. You could barely even see the bite when it happened. But I think all animals, at least cats and dogs and snakes, they're good. And whatever she had been through in her life, it led her to be who she was at that point in her life. And I was over at that house quite often, and I would give her treats, and I sweetened her up to me. I'm like, hey, I'm not a stranger, I'm not an invader. I like you. I would like it if you'd like me. So, aside from that, I was still like, when you've had a cat attack you, slap you, bite you, like grab onto your leg and try to bite your Achilles tendon, it's gonna make you nervous. You've been through something that was painful, and you don't know if she's gonna do it again. So at that time, I also had, this was before I got my Zuzu. This is Zuzu. He's a Siamese. Before I got him, I had a couple of friends, different friends, who had a trio of absolutely loving sweet cats. One was shy, one was very playful and athletic, and the other one, he could not get enough pets. He, one time a friend came over and he looked into that friend's face. The friend looked at him and then he leapt into his arms, and the friend was so surprised. The rest of us are just laughing, like, well, I guess this is your new bride. And just leapt into his arms. We got brush you. Anyway, those cats I knew really well, really, really well, and they knew me. They loved me. So I was over there. I was petting them a lot like you can see me doing with Zuzu right now. They're just loving and sweet and adorable, and I trusted them. I wouldn't even think. I just put my hand down and start petting them, and I know what they're going to do. They're just going to rub on me. So after spending all day there, I went over to the other friend's house who had Serena, and because of what I've been doing all day, I didn't even think about it. I just put my hand down and started petting her, and she just let me do it. Like, I had been so anxious. Like, whenever I'd reach out to pet her, I'd get nervous. No, come back over here, honey. Come on. I'd get nervous, and I think because I was nervous, that's one of the reasons I got, no, no, you're violent. Your claws are dangerous. Anyway, sorry. Um, because I had psyched myself out and I was expecting her to hurt me. She saw my apprehension and I think she was more on guard. But when I acted like, okay, this is what we're going to do, she's just like, oh, well, okay. It's nice. I guess that's what we're going to do. And at that moment, I made a couple realizations about myself and the cat. And so from that moment on, our relationship kind of changed. And because I'm not exactly sure why, but I mean, I made an effort to say, hey, I like you. I want to be friends with you. I want to be kind to you. Even though she was mean to me, I love animals. And I know there's good in them. And I know there's a sweetie just waiting to come out. And she started treating me different than everybody else. And there was one point she was really mad about something. I picked her up and I could see on her face she wanted to slap me. She had her paw back and just ready. She didn't do it though. But anybody else, later that day she was mad and I saw somebody else pick her up when she didn't want to be, and she slapped the glasses right off their face. But it's part of building trust with the animal. It's part of also trusting the animal. You can even psych yourself out. Like, I did a psychological experiment with myself where I'm just like, what if if I pretend I'm afraid of something? Come here, honey. Come here. You're part of the demonstration. Come here. I need you for this. So you can try this out on yourself as a demonstration if you want to learn something about yourself, and pretend a cat or dog we're going to use this fish because he keeps wandering away. Pretend this cat, this is clearly a cat. Okay, now this is a cat. That you know is not going to hurt you. Psych yourself out and say, this animal is going to bite me. it's going to scratch me and hurt me. And then act like you're afraid to pet it and stop yourself immediately. And after about maybe 15 seconds of doing this to yourself, you're actually going to start feeling afraid. You know this animal is not going to hurt you. You know they're friendly. Intellectually, you know you're friendly, but you have set off an emotional response in yourself that now you're feeling fear of something that you know isn't even dangerous. And I think that with your snake, when you're feeling fear, I don't even know, I think my guys are hiding now. They'll be out later. But I think that sometimes with fear, and I'm telling you that it really doesn't even hurt that much. You're not going to die from a hog nose bite. You and I both know that. But you've psyched yourself out. That's part of it. And the way to get over it is by handling your hognose. When I first got Scoria, who has buried herself, that's fine. When I first got Scoria, are we going to lay on the floor now? Is that what we're doing? We're going to kick ourselves in the head. But when I first got Scoria, I held her for a total of 5 seconds. I picked her up, and I don't even know if she did any. I don't know if she hissed. She did. I was so afraid because I never had a snake before. Lived my whole life being told they were out to get me. So I immediately, quickly, but gently set her down. She looked so confused, and I didn't try again until the next day. I was so scared. But handling her, petting, petting the kitty that you know isn't going to hurt you even if you're scared, handling the snake, it's going to help you get the experience that you're not even going to think about it. It's like me with those friendly cats when I went to the cat that usually attacked me. When I went in with the anticipation and knowing, oh, this is just a cat, I'm going to pet it. Didn't even think about it. She was just like, oh, yeah, okay. So I don't know if anything I've said has helped you. Um, I hope I hear back from you and you can tell me, hey, you guys are doing well. I really hope it is going to get better for you. It's not going to be easy at first, but you just got to get yourself out of being psyched out. Handle your snake, bond with your snake, do things that your snake finds fun so they look forward to hanging out with you. And I hope for you, you can do this because I know you want to bond with your snake. I know if you're looking at my Tumblr, you're looking at other Tumblrs, you're interested in snakes, you want that connection. And your snake, without you, they can't see the world. Their entire world is just their enclosure. That's all they get to see without you, but you are their opportunity to see the world, to have enrichment, to have experiences, to have someone to share their life with. That's how I look at it. And I know my girl's enclosure kind of looks like trash. This is my snake's trash. I have a post earlier about, oh, that box, that trash, that's the cat's trash. Well, this I'm letting my snakes play with. They love this paper. That paper is not going to go away. Paper, cardboard tube. I'm helping them to, it's like a little ladder so they can get up higher. Um, yeah, that looks terrible, but they're having fun playing in it. When they get bored with it, all right, we'll get rid of it. But for now, they're having fun with it. I might even turn it into an arts and crafts project so that they can climb. But right now, yeah, I know it's it doesn't look the greatest, but it's for them to have fun to play with. And when they get bored with it, I am more concerned about their experience, their enjoyment of their enclosure. If it doesn't look great, if it's not a work of art, I don't care. If it doesn't look human, aesthetically pleasing, I don't care. It's all about them because this is their space. What makes them happy, what makes them comfortable. But anyway, let me see, was this, yeah, it was under anonymous. So, anonymous, I hope that you can get over your fear. I hope you have the strength to take a chance on your snake. The more you handle them, the more you'll get comfortable with them. The more you'll get to know them and they'll get to know you. And yeah, as long as you don't grab your snake when they're trying to get away, as long as they can always get away, and as long as you don't handle them with your hands smelling like food, we should be fine. Sometimes my Sakura, she went through a growth spurt and she wanted to eat more. This is part of a bigger story, but to keep it simple, she went through a growth spurt and needed to eat more than what the charts said. So she was nosing between my fingers, and that was how I knew right before she was gonna bite me. So I started feeding her more because part of the bigger story is the breeder I bought her from was not feeding her enough. So that's part of it. But sometimes babies will just be like curious, like, oh, can I eat this? And if you do get bit, it is nowhere near as bad a cat, a dog, a horse bite. Even my leopard gecko. Lizard bites hurt more, but you're not going to die from them. So if it happens, it happens. But honestly, it felt like, I don't know how it felt like for you. I don't know how big your guy is or girl. What did you say? Oh, yeah, yours is a boy. So he's always going to stay smaller. They are going to be beasts, but they've got past that point. And the target training has helped too. If there's no target, it's not food time. So that's helped too. You could try that if you want some bonding time with your snake. Um, Lori, I'm going to butcher her name. I think it's Lori Tarani. I might have it wrong, but look for Lori's choice-based handling, target training. It'll pull up on YouTube, and that has helped Sakura know, oh, it's food time. I see the target, time to eat. So, are you ready to play some more? Did you have a little nap? Alrighty. Yeah, I'm just talking about you, my sweetie pie. Anyway, most dangerous here is getting a cavity from me sweet talking to my snakes. Anyway, I hope this has helped. I know this went on really long. I'm terrible at keeping things short. But please update me with your progress. If you don't feel comfortable taking it off and on, I'm not sure why, because I mean, your screen name isn't even your real name, probably. Probably. But I hope that you and your snake get closer, bond, and through handling him, you'll get more comfortable. So I hope you're brave enough to do that for both yourself and your pet. Anyway, I hope you write back again, and I hope maybe this has helped. Are you praising the thermostat probe? All hail the thermostat probe up in the sky. I don't even know what else you'd be looking. Praise the lights in the sky. You're such a goofy goober. I love you.